Corporate burnout is very, very real. The stroke is like much bigger than I was expecting. Walk every single day. Had me literally scared for my life. Absolute slay by Poppy. Hi guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another vlog. So excited to be starting up this vlog and taking you through a work week in my life. I have not filmed just a plain work week in my life in over 2 months, which is pretty unusual for me. I love taking you guys through just my normal work weeks at home in Charlotte. If you're new here, I work from home as a data analyst. I work 40 hours a week, 9 to 5 kind of hours. I got my master's degree in health administration back in 2022. And then I went and did a coding boot camp, learned a little bit of coding, and now I do data analytics in the healthcare field. But besides that, I will say my channel is not mainly about work. It's a huge part of my life, of course, but I do like to just take you guys through my life outside of work as well. So it's a lot of lifestyle vlogs, fashion, fitness, being our healthiest self. We talk a little bit about finances, just a very real and raw lifestyle channel getting through my later 20s now. Just wanted to do a brief intro in case we have anyone new just stumbling upon this video. I'm having a very slow start to my week, which I'm pretty thankful for, honestly. I only have one meeting today, which I've already had, so I'm really able to kind of heads down work. I am about to take a little bit of a break and just go on a walk, get some fresh air, which is so important and so good for you when you work from home. I say it's like my lunch break. My lunch break just really depends on the day. Sometimes I will take that full hour that I get, go run an errand. Sometimes I will fold laundry, clean the apartment for an hour. A lot of days though, I will kind of break up my lunch break. I might take 2 30-minute breaks, or I might take 4 15-minute breaks. It just kind of depends. It is something I'm very lucky to be able to do with work from home. You do have that flexibility as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, clocking your hours, getting your work done. You do have a little bit of flexibility there. One thing I did this morning is I set some goals for the week. I think this is a great way to just stay on track and motivate yourself for the week. Some of these are very simple. They're give me goals, like you know you're already going to accomplish them, but I just think writing them down pen to paper, having something you can check off is super helpful and keeps you motivated throughout the week. Just some inspiration for you if you have a work week coming up, maybe set some goals for the work week. I do monthly goals pretty regularly, but I don't always do weekly goals, but I do like them. So our goals for the week, what you will be seeing in this vlog: get ready every single day. This is my definition of getting ready. I have on like a little sweater. I have on just face makeup. I don't really put eye makeup on a day-to-day basis because I hate having to wash it off at the end of the night, but just a little something so I don't look like death. You know, I want to do daily lunch walks. We're about to go on one right now. I don't really care if it's 10, 15, 30, 45 minutes. I want to get outside in the middle of my workday, see some fresh air, get some sunshine on my face, take a break from my 4 walls. Daily gratitude. This is a new one for me. I journal. I have a journal. It's digital. It's on my computer that I update like every few months. I'll go in there and be like, this is what's happening in my life right now. I've had it for years. I think I started it in 2021. And then I date every single page. So I have this long, like almost autobiography of my life. It's not really journaling, I feel like, but I want to start building that habit more, building it in daily and smaller ways. So this week we are going to be doing daily gratitude. 1 sentence, writing it down in my notebook here. I already did it this morning. Something different every single day. I just want to sit, write it down, reflect on something that I'm grateful for. Workout 2 times. I know that's not a lot, but that's just where I am right now. 2 times this week. If I can do more, great. I already have workout classes scheduled for today and tomorrow, so this one is one that I pretty much know I will accomplish this. Cook something fun. Again, I don't care what this is, but cooking is very much a hobby for me. It brings me joy, whether that's a nice dinner, something sweet. I still have a ton of apples I need to use. Want to cook something fun this week. And lastly, I set 3 goals regarding work. I'm not going to share those, but they're regarding some dashboards that I'm working on and some documentation that I need to do. Just 3 different things that I want to accomplish for work this week, which means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 goals for the week. I feel like they're very simple, but like I said, it's just a way to hold myself accountable and make sure we have a good, productive work week. With that being said, it's time to knock off something off of our goals. Let's go on our lunch break walk for Monday. had such a great workout. I did a spin class. There is definitely some kind of psychology around being in the front row. I am normally a back to middle person. I also usually come with a friend, and I came by myself today, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go in the front row because why not? That was easily the best spin I've ever done. There's definitely something because you feel like people are watching you, I guess. So I was really going hard and just had such a good workout. I really need to challenge myself to go in the front row more often because I really do think, at least for me, I try so much harder when I'm in the front row, because I know me in the back row, when I'm in the back row, I am watching the girls in the front row as like motivation because they usually are killing it. And I'm like, okay, I need to be like her. So then when I'm in the front row, I think I need to go really hard. Is that just me? I feel like that has to be some kind of psychology to it. Let's go home. We're having steak for dinner. I think we're gonna do steak salads. I always do my makeup and then I love having my hair pulled out of my face, so I always end up leaving my makeup clips in my hair. It is 12:25. I'm gonna make some lunch. We have a bunch of leftover barbecue from where Will smoked the big thing of pork this weekend, so I'm gonna have a barbecue sandwich. I feel like this is probably because I grew up in North Carolina and I think this is a North Carolina thing, but I love vinegar-based barbecue sauce. I will douse my barbecue in this vinegar sauce. Incredibly delicious. The main ingredient is apple cider vinegar. I do not like barbecue sauce, the thick, sweet barbecue sauce. I feel like it's what everyone thinks of when you think of barbecue sauce. It's okay, but I would a million times over choose a vinegar-based barbecue sauce over the sweet ones like that. So yeah, I'm just making myself some lunch. Probably going to take about 30 minutes and then we're gonna go on a 30-minute lunch walk, checking off all of our goals. Spent last night reading after dinner. I finished We Used to Live Here over the weekend. It's like a horror book. I've never read a horror before. I don't think horrors are for me. I'm just a scaredy cat. Like, I was reading it, genuinely afraid. And then I would get up to like go to the bathroom and I was afraid that someone was in my closet. Like, I just don't think I need to be doing that to myself, really. I thought the book was actually really good. I will say the ending to me was not satisfying at all, but the book itself was good. It had me on the edge of my seat, had me literally scared for my life while I was reading. So if you like horror books, you'd probably like that. I guess that's what I was looking for, right? To get me into spooky season. So then I decided I needed to start something lighter before I go into another thriller. So I started last night Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I'm probably 40% through it. I was nervous about this one because the cover, it just looks so tacky to me. And the name Pumpkin Spice Cafe is so like cheesy. I was definitely judging a book by its cover and I'm loving it. It has me giggling and kicking my feet while I'm reading it in bed. It's so cute so far. It's a romance about a girl who takes over her aunt's cafe in this small town. She's from a big city, moves to the small town. So far it is really cute and I'm embracing the cringe. Only 40% of the way through, so we'll see how the rest of it goes, but those have been my reads lately. I've already had 2 meetings today and those are all the meetings that I have. So the rest of my afternoon is just heads down work and then we have our second workout class of the week. I'm gonna enjoy my lunch and then we will go get some fresh air. Everyone comment down below, what is your midday pick-me-up? I feel like when 2, 3 o'clock hits, you need something. I usually go for a tea. Today I went and got just like a regular coffee from the apartment coffee machine. Sometimes just a brewed coffee hits pretty good. I know Will is an energy drink kind of guy. This was something in our budget. We are still very much figuring out our budget. We've been finances combined for the first month. They were really fully combined was August. So it was interesting to see how much we really spend every month, just little interesting things in our budget. We sat down at the end of the month and we're like, what do we like about this? What do we not like? Like in August, for example, we spent an insane amount on dining out. I was actually shook. I budgeted $400 for dining out and we went way over that. So that was something we were like, okay, this is crazy. We need to reel this in. So far in September, I think we've spent $100 and we're over halfway through the month. So we really, you know, pinpointed things that were kind of crazy, reeled it in. It's just been interesting. I do plan to bring back the budgeting content. I think I'm gonna finish out the year just tracking for us and figuring out what our monthly budget is gonna look like before I bring back kind of the monthly wrap up, what I spent in a month videos. I do want to bring those back. We're just kind of in this period of figuring things out for ourselves. Right now, it's looking like our grocery budget is going to be anywhere between $800 and $1,000 a month, which comes out to like $200, $250 a week, which I think is pretty fair for two people. He eats a ton and we don't eat out that much, except in August. August we went crazy, but we really don't. I would say we limit eating out to once a week, twice a week, just figuring out these things. But the whole point of this, I'm talking about midday pick-me-ups. I know Will's midday pick-me-up is a Celsius because something we were noticing in our budget is he would go down to the like company convenience store that they have in the building and he would buy a Celsius, and the Celsiuses in that convenience store were like $4 for one Celsius. We were like, this is crazy that you're spending almost $4 a day on Celsius. So we talked about it and then we just decided, okay, let's start buying Celsius at Food Lion because they're like $1.50. Just little things like that we're kind of noticing, picking up on. I'm definitely more the spender between the two of us though, for sure. I tend to have the bigger ticket items. All that to say, today I did a coffee for my midday pick-me-up. He usually does a Celsius. Sometimes I do a tea. Let me know what is yours. Maybe you have something different that I need to try out. I just got some packages. Just some household restocks, some things that I needed. I restocked on my vitamins that I take, vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. I've talked to you guys about this combo, but I swear by this. Swear by this for my immune health. I used to get sick so often. Knock on wood, I get sick a lot less often these days. I just had a COVID exposure last week and I did not get COVID. That is a miracle. Restocked on my go-to face wash, the La Roche-Posay Purifying Foaming Facial Cleanser. I like a foaming facial cleanser. I like something that makes me feel like it's washing my face. If it doesn't foam up, I feel like it's not doing anything. And then just needed some laundry detergent. I try to go for something that is sensitive skin, fragrance free. I've never tried this one before, but in general, Will and I both have kind of sensitive skin, so I try to do the stuff that says it's for sensitive skin. That's my package. So exciting. I'm gonna go finish up my work day. Just a few hours left before we head over to our workout. Back home, chopping up some vegetables for dinner. I aim to do one thing every single day after work, whether it's work out, go for a walk, run an errand. It just makes it feel like my day isn't just work. Something I want to talk about in this video, we'll have a lunch chat about burnout. I was facing really bad burnout about 2 weeks ago. All these little things I'm doing this week, like setting goals and walking and all this, is to help me with that and try to avoid further burnout. Definitely want to have a chat about that. I had another really good workout. I feel like my motivation for working out is always changing. Sometimes I'm motivated because I have a trip coming up. Sometimes I'm just feeling it. What was motivating me tonight when things were getting hard, I started thinking about how I have less than 2 weeks now until my procedure on my heart. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I talk all about it in my last vlog. I will link it down below. And after that, I have to take basically a month off of movement. Assuming everything goes well, we're hoping, I have to take 1 week completely off any kind of movement. And then after that, I can pretty much slowly build back up to my workout routine. So I think it's going to be a week off, and then maybe I'll add in 1 class for a week, and then I'll do 2 and then 3, and like slowly building back up. So the next 2 weeks, I'm like, I got to get in as much movement as I can, just because it feels like I'm basically going to be starting all over again. I know a week off isn't crazy. Even a month off isn't that crazy. But I just feel like you lose it so quickly, and I know it's gonna feel like I'm starting from square one when I start back. That's what's really been motivating me lately. Another thing that I always think to myself in a workout class, if you're like dying, they're having you hold something, or the worst thing ever to me is like holding my arms straight out like this. And then I always tell myself it always ends. This always ends. It is always temporary. So if I'm like holding my arms out like this and I think I'm gonna drop, I just tell myself it always ends. And I don't know. maybe that will resonate with somebody, that always makes me go the full length instead of dropping, because you're not gonna have to sit there forever. It's probably like 20 seconds left max. Just the fact that you're not gonna have to sit there forever always gets me through it. Chopping up some Brussels sprouts and red onion. Gonna do balsamic Brussels sprouts with some Parm cheese on top in the oven, roasted, and then we have chicken cooked up already. Healthy, simple dinner. Hair is washed. We have a sparkly drink. About to sit here and watch Dancing with the Stars, you guys. This is the first season of Dancing with the Stars I've ever wanted to watch. Having the girls from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives on here is the thing attracting me. I'm curious. So I'm gonna watch this season, at least try to. I've never watched it before. I'm sorry, but this is how I know I'm getting old. Truly. Because I have always thought the show was kind of lame and never really knew who the people were on the show. I'm like, wow, I'm really the demographic for Dancing with the Stars now. But you know what? I'm here for it and we're gonna try it out, see if we like it. I'm not wearing a sweatshirt today. Who is she? I have to run out of the house today for a dentist appointment. So I actually decided to put on something besides sweatpants. This top is Princess Polly. I don't know how I feel about the puff sleeve, but we're rolling with it. Princess Polly sweater top. I feel like it's a good transitional piece. And then I threw on my new shorts that I got from Nordstrom Rack, the Hudson shorts that I got for like 25 bucks or something like that. They're so comfortable. They're very stretchy feeling, which I like that. I like the length on them. I do think if you're shorter, these would probably be way too long for you, because I looked at the picture of them on the model on the Nordstrom Rack website and they literally go down to like here on her. And I was like, I guess because I'm tall, I'm 5'8", the length is perfect for me. I can have these linked down below. They still have them on the website. They were on like major sale. I can't guarantee that they'll still be there. So yeah, happy Wednesday. Good morning. I just had one meeting. I have to run to my dentist appointment this afternoon. And then I have one more meeting later today. And then we have to go pick up Will from work. If you're new here, we share a car. So on days that I have appointments, he usually Ubers to work in the morning and then I pick him up after work, 5:30 or so. I would say he Ubers to work maybe twice a month. So we still save a ton of money with one car. I was thinking, since I have to run out to go to my dentist appointment, I feel like that's kind of like my break for the day, you know? So I'm not gonna be able to take a walk in the middle of the day. So I'm just gonna do a nice long walk after work, after I get Will from work. I'm still counting it. I know I wrote on my goals lunch walk, but let's just say long walk every single day. I feel like that's better because work has to come first and I can't just take an hour to go to an appointment and take an hour to go on a walk. We have to be flexible. Just checking in with you guys. I've had my dentist appointment. I've had my second meeting of the day. It is coming up on 4 o'clock now. I just got off my last meeting of the day. It was a one-on-one with my manager. We have them bi-weekly. Always good. They always make me feel good, feel like I'm doing the right thing, on the right track with work. Something I'm taking a few minutes to do right now. This is just your annual reminder to update your accomplishment tracker. If you do anything like that, I try my best to keep an Excel sheet with everything I've worked on this year. That way, when end of year reviews come up, you have a list of all the things you've worked on. I wish I was a little bit better about it, if I'm being honest. I haven't updated it since I updated it last year around this time. So it's almost been a whole year that I have not updated it. It's because towards the end of the year, I know end of year reviews are coming up. And then I'm like, oh, I need to know what I worked on this year. And then I'm like, I need to update my accomplishment tracker. It would probably be so much easier if I updated it every 2-3 months, because you forget. I'm like going through my calendar, going through my emails, trying to remember what little, you know, ad hoc type requests I worked on. I know my big projects, but there's so much little stuff that you do. Just even small stuff, small requests for people that take you 48 hours. Those are things that you should still include on your accomplishment tracker. This is just your reminder, if you have not updated it much this year, like me, to update it. I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna save up everything and then we will head out in about an hour to go pick Will up from work. This day has flown by. Honestly, this week is flying by. I can't believe tomorrow is Thursday. Continuing to check stuff off my list for the day. Picked up Will from work, came back, we went on a good walk. We have like our standard loop that we do, and then we have like a longer loop if we want to go long, and then I have like a short loop. We have short, medium, and long. Today we did the medium loop, but I feel like I've just been running around all day between meetings, running to the dentist, running back home for more meetings, running to pick up Will from work. I just feel like I haven't had a second to sit down and chill. And now that it's 7:30, we are finishing up dinner. We're doing salmon bowls tonight. I realize I've been showing you guys what we do for dinner every night, so we're gonna keep it rolling. I'll show you what we do for dinner tonight and the rest of the week. Tonight is salmon bowls. One of our favorite recipes. It's rice, salmon, which he smokes. Any kind of vegetable. I usually do zucchini, but today we have broccoli. So broccoli, and then I just put on top soy sauce, Kewpie mayo, sesame seeds, and I eat it with seaweed crackers. You can really make it your own. Usually I'll do zucchini. Sometimes I'll add in some onion. You could add an avocado. I love a bowl moment because you can really make a bowl whatever you like. This smells so incredibly good. I'm so excited. I finally got around to making my apple butter last night with all those apples we picked at the apple orchard. I decided to do it last night because it has to cook the first round for 10 hours, and then after that it has to cook another 2 hours. I needed to time it right, so I figured I could do it. So I put it on late last night, got up this morning, and I just switched it to warm for a little bit. Now I'm going to blend it up, and then it has to cook another 2 hours. Now that it's all blended, you're supposed to add in vanilla extract. I'm gonna use the rest of my vanilla bourbon paste from Trader Joe's. I've been using this in replacement for vanilla extract in most of my recipes. It has to go another 2 hours, but look how smooth and delicious this looks. I'm so happy with how it's turned out so far. Oh my gosh, it smells so good too. Should we try it? Even though technically it's not done, but it smells so good. I'm so happy with the texture. I was worried I wouldn't be able to get it, that creamy, buttery texture, but this slaps. Now I need to make some bread so I have something to put it on. I wanted to have a little chit chat today while I take a break from work on burnout with work. Corporate burnout. I think this can look very different for everybody depending on your job. Obviously, I have a very sedentary work from home style job. So my burnout is gonna look different from someone who is, say, a nurse who, I mean, serious kudos to my nurses out there working those 12-hour shifts, working the night shifts. That is a very different type of burnout, and I genuinely feel they are working so much harder than me. In a different sense, there is this corporate burnout that I feel like a couple weeks ago was really experiencing. It's interesting too because I generally like my job. I like my job, I like my company, I like my manager, but I still was getting those feelings of burnout. When you're first out of college, everything is so new and exciting, and you feel like you're going somewhere, you're working to get to something new. I didn't have my first post-grad job until 2021. Went straight from college into my master's program. I didn't work that whole first year. It was COVID year, weird year. And then I got what I would consider my first real corporate job, my last semester of grad school. So I've really only been in the workforce, I guess we're coming up on 4 years now. Once you get really settled into your career, it doesn't feel as new and exciting anymore, and there's not these big changes happening anymore. It just starts to feel like now you just have to put in the years. You're just putting in the years, waiting for that next promotion cycle, waiting for the next opportunity to pop up. But really in the corporate world, that's not, at least from my experience, that often. I feel like promotion cycles, you're lucky if it happens once a year for you, but even that I think is not that common. It can be more like 2 years in a position, 3 years in a position before you are really hitting those promotions. And I think that's where the burnout starts to creep in. And again, it's not that the work itself is bad, it's that you have the same routine every single day, the same meetings, the same emails. So I get in this autopilot with work instead of feeling like I'm making big strides towards something. So now that I'm 4 years in, it's not new and exciting anymore. I'm just existing in my career now, which is a new thing for me to navigate. I've never experienced this before, where I'm so settled in my career and in my trajectory. It's slowed down so much that I'm starting to feel, I don't want to say stuck, but like I have to actively work against feeling stuck. A big shift for me that I've made in the past few years is that my career isn't my identity. When I first started my channel, when I was in grad school, I thought I was going to be this girl boss, hospital administrator, CEO, whatever. And then the more I get into my career, the more I realize that is actually not what I want. My job does not have to be my whole identity. My job is what allows me to pay for things outside of work that contribute more to my identity than work really does. My identity, at the end of the day, does not have that much to do with data analytics. And I really think that's okay. And that's just something that you kind of have to come to terms with if you're going to be in the corporate world. We have our monotonous jobs. We do the same thing every single day. So if you are only looking for fulfillment and identity from your job, you might feel really empty and that might not fill your cup up. That was really how I wanted to come into this week, with setting those goals in the beginning of the week, because I need to find little ways to break up my everyday, break up the routine, break up the monotonous routine with work, because burnout does not only come from working too hard, working long hours. I think burnout can also come from boredom. This week has flown by for me and has already been better than the past 2 weeks were, because I really focused on taking care of myself through my goals, getting ready every morning. I've been getting outside of the house and going on long walks, getting some fresh air in the middle of the day, switching up where I'm working. I haven't worked in my office all week. I've been working on the couch a little bit. I worked on the porch a little bit earlier today. It really is just life once you're into this corporate work routine. You have to find small joys in your day to prevent that burnout, because we're human and we're constantly looking for the next thing. We're constantly wanting to be stimulated and excited. And if that's not happening for you with work, then you just have to find little things for yourself to make that happen. Corporate burnout is very, very real. And we just have to actively remember, if you're like me, my career is not my everything. It helps to pay for the things that I do love, that are my everything. And we can make every single day a little bit better by just doing small things for ourselves, finding the little joys in our day, and building life outside of work.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope.
I had a neurologist appointment this morning. I work with a pretty large team of doctors, and like everyone has to agree on everything. So he agreed on treatment plan. We're good to go. I did get to see my brain scan for the first time. They did not show it to me in the hospital, and it was kind of insane. The stroke is like much bigger than I was expecting. It was like the whole bottom left part of my brain. So that was crazy. Then I got a latte as a reward for my appointment. It's the pumpkin creme brulee latte. She like smoked the top and everything with the smoked
blowtorch.
Yeah, the blowtorched sugar. I've been wanting to try this. I've seen it. It's the fall menu at Wild Roots. Let's give it a try.
What was that?
The cream is so thick I couldn't get any coffee out, and then it squirted everywhere. Wow, that is incredibly delicious though. The only thing about it I will say, it was $10. It was $10. What? I mean, I get it. It's like this whole presentation, but this is like a try it one time, never get it again kind of thing for me, because that's wild. Even though the taste, 10 out of 10. delicious.
I think it's expensive if you look at it as a coffee. I think if you look at it like you'd look at a dessert or getting ice cream or any other
I'm back home, got my dessert, getting all logged in for work. Today is actually no meeting day, which is nice. That means I have absolutely no meetings today. We're not supposed to schedule any. The whole goal of today is to allow you time to get things done that need to get done that often get interrupted by meetings, which feels weird because usually I have like a sync with my team every single day, but we're not getting on that today. I have a new dashboard that is actually almost ready to go into production. I have just some final touches. I got a little bit of feedback from someone else. Just a few small things, changing some naming conventions, adding a little bit more documentation. But the hard part of building the dashboard, the code, building out the dashboard in Power BI, that's all done. So I'm just kind of doing the final touches and then should go into production early next week. So that's kind of my goal for today, is to get that all finished up. Speaking of goals, let's talk about it. I can officially check off daily get ready because I got ready this morning. Might not look like it, but I did put on a little bit of makeup. So I got ready 5 days this week. Check that off. I worked out twice. Checked that off. I cooked something fun, the apple butter. Checked that off. I finished my 3 tasks for work. And then the only 2 things I have left, daily gratitude and daily walks. I am about to do my gratitude right now, and then we'll go on our walk in a couple hours. So I feel like I can pretty much say I've checked off all my goals, but we're gonna finish them up here shortly. I actually can't believe it's Friday. This week has gone by so fast. I am making myself some lunch. I'm robed up. We had smash burgers for dinner last night, so you already know that's what I'm gonna do for lunch. Eat some leftovers. I thought about not talking about this and not sharing this, but I just want to be so real. My day has not been the best. Just more stroke things. Something my neurologist talked with us about today is, when and if we want to start a family, my pregnancies would be inherently high risk. And it just kind of sucks, mourning the idea of having like a normal pregnancy experience. So I've just been a little bit sad about that today. It's one of those things where it's like, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But just like hearing the doctor tell us that when that time does come, we'll have to go to high risk OBs and just have a slightly different experience than a normal pregnancy. This is really what I mean when I say like stroke recovery. I have really good days most days, and then I have kind of bad days like today where it's like you mourn what life is supposed to look like and things just have to be a little bit different for you. Anyway, I'm gonna eat my burger. Actually, you know what would make me happy right now? Is this a new flavor? The root beer, poppy root beer. I think this is new. I love root beer, or I used to. I haven't had it in probably well over 15 years, but let's try it. Oh my god. Yeah. It has that root beer scent to it too. This is incredibly good. Absolute slay by Poppy. Ran and got my nails done. I just got a brown. I feel like this is a good shade for early fall. The shade name is Witch and Famous. I had never heard of the brand though. I think it was PLA, Witch and Famous. I'm back home with my new nails. I've been home for a while, just kind of hanging out with Will. I'm gonna go ahead and end off this vlog. We're having a cozy Friday night at home. About to put on some Bachelor in Paradise. I'm finally watching the newest season. I'm definitely very behind on that. I think it's already over, but we're just on like episode 3 or 4. I hope you guys enjoyed spending the week with me. Very realistic work week in my life. Talked about burnout. Thank you as always for watching and for sticking around. And I will see you all so very soon in my next video. Bye guys.